What I'm leading you into a hot take here, Andrew, if you want it. At what point do you go, I think it's time to get out of this Zion Williamson business? Like, I don't know how we're supposed to build a team when he's missed 60% of his games at this point. Like, when do you go, this is probably, like, this, is he ever going to be fully available for a full run? Are we ever going to be able to build a team? Because the best of Zion, he, like, walks into 27-7. Like, his numbers, you go through it to this point, are bonkers. What Zion does...
I will say that during last night's Knicks Pelicans broadcast, Clyde Frazier said outright, he can't play it that way.
Yeah. But that's something that we've been saying.
This is your fourth
year and a half.
Since high school. We've been saying it since high school. It's been said since he was a high school phenom and YouTube dunk compilation guy.
Look, I would have gotten out of the business of it last year when all the stuff was going on with the front office and they weren't in alignment at the time. I believe it was last year. It was either 2021 or okay.
It was 2 years ago where there was serious question. Like last year, they had a good playoff series and they went on a run at the end of the year without Zion.
Yeah, and so middle of last year, I would have said, okay, do we like what the Pistons are doing with Cade Cunningham? It's like, we can't have this on and off business all the time. We need to nip this in the bud. You're going to sit out for as long as it takes. And if it's going to be the season, it's going to be the season. The issue with Zion is you should have made these types of decisions a year ago. Because when you brought him back, you were taking – you take a chance with injuries all the time. Bless you. But it's just kind of like if you were going to make that decision, you should have done it last year. You've made this bed, and now you got to lay in it. And look, I hope Zion comes back healthy, but
everyone hopes he comes back healthy.
We're doing it. It feels like Groundhog Day, and it's just like, well, it's time to truly make a decision. I don't think it's a hot take necessarily because I've been feeling like this for a while. So
I just can't. Like, it's got to be so frustrating because, like, this is from NBA Muse on Twitter that I thought was fascinating. Since Zion Williamson got injured, they're 7-15, 31% winning percentage, 22nd in offense, 14th in defense, 14th in field goal percentage, 26% in 3-point percentage, 25th in net rating. They were top 10 in all of those categories before Zion.
They were. Taking away Zion Williamson makes your basketball team worse. Watching them last night against the Knicks, that looked like a team that had thrown in the towel. They were dogging it. Like Brandon Ingram looks like his body language was Zach LaVinian. He looked miserable. Top to bottom on that roster, it all looked like they were going through the motions. For some reason, Willie Green was insisting on starting Josh Richardson over Trey Murphy, which I didn't understand at all. Like, Josh Richardson got significant minutes, and, he's Josh Richardson. He's
great VFL.
Fine, but you just picked him off. Like, he was getting sporadic minutes in San Antonio. I mean, Trey Murphy is good. Why wasn't he starting? I don't seem to know. Like, all of those really cool, fun, bouncy bench players, none of them had any. If they looked sad, that's a team where you might think, it's time to shake it up.
And it sucks because if you're David Griffin, you've seen the best. Like, they looked like a title contender when Zion was healthy. Like, they looked like they can win the West. Yep. Like, what do you do if you're Griffin? I think it's an underrated, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for David. Like, he's in a rough spot. And then did you see the Obi Toppin Muse Twitter account, Bob, that was like, look at Zion having fun dapping up his future teammates Emmanuel Quickley and Julius Randle and company, where it's like he was very man, is that okay? Is that where you're at, Bob, when you look at the forecast of who the next guy you could go future Nick? Is it Zion? Would you want to get in the Zion business?
No, you know who it is?
Who?
Embiid.
Oh. Make the case, Bob.
It's the case for Embiid. He is 29. The Sixers situation is this.